So we have Truett here. He is the youth pastor here at Vertical Church in Avila. And thank you very much for meeting with me and letting me interview you for my leadership class. There's 3 questions I've asked everyone. So I'll ask you all the same.
Right.
And then we'll go into some more specific questions
Love it.
for the younger age group.
All right.
All right. How did you get into leadership?
How did I
kind of give me like a 2-3 minute, elevator
Love it.
pitch of.
All right. How I got into leadership. So one, the pastor here is my dad, and so I've already seen, and I've kind of been developed into knowing what ministry leadership looks like. And so I'm the youngest of 5 as well. So I've seen lots of others go ahead of me. I really did not have the opportunity to be a leader a whole lot of times because I was always the youngest. Watched a lot of leading going on. I was very reserved as a kid, but by the time I'm like a senior or so, I had some coaches and some teachers speak life into me and really encourage me toward finding my voice and encouraging and leading other people. And so in doing that was about my senior year. And as I am stepping into some of those roles, I'm saying, oh, wow, I realize like what my voice is and how I can impact others. And so with that, I had another youth pastor that was here at the church right after I had graduated. And he said, hey, why don't you come alongside me? I'd love to give you some opportunities to lead. And so in doing that, he showed me, hey, here's kind of the ropes to youth ministry. Here's what it looks like to lead a student through a hard time. And I got to go have good, me and him and another individual where we'd go have conversations, and he would show me some of the ropes on leading there. And then eventually he said, hey, I'm moving to New Orleans. And so I'm asking if you want to be the youth pastor here. I said, let's do it. And so stepping into this now, of course, I have my dad and some other staff members here who have helped me step into leadership roles and then find my confidence in that. And now, leading a youth ministry of some 40 teens and some 15 adults, it's definitely challenged me because I did not ever see myself in this position. But through other people shaping me, that's where I am today.
All right. Well, you said the next word the question I'm going to ask you is, what challenges do you see in the leadership position?
That's great. Well, I would say one challenge that I see, so we had youth just last night, because today's Thursday, we have youth every Wednesday, and just last night we had our biggest crowd yet, and I had, some 15 adults. We had 65 kids, which was incredible. We're starting off summer and all this stuff, and what I realized is I want to do a lot of the things myself, and it is sometimes hard for me to think, what are roles that these people can all take and then thrive with, Mm-hmm. And so I would say it's a mix of delegating down and then thinking of what are the strengths of my other leaders and how can I speak life into those and then put them in the position to succeed in that way. That's what I would say is a challenge right now.
That's awesome.
But as of last night and then this morning, I'm like, okay, I've got to think of some ways to get these leaders to step up into new leadership as well.
Well, that's good to have that kind of, a lot of people, being so young, to have that kind of insight, because a lot of people want to keep control.
Yes, that's one of the sayings we've kind of said here as a staff is delegate or die is the way that we have said it.
Yes.
Where if you're not delegating, it will not allow the next generation of leaders to rise up because you will try to maintain the control, maintain the hands-on. And where someone might be wanting or willing or God's calling them to a position of leadership, if we just hold on to it, then we're not allowing them to answer the call of God on their life. Yeah. So it's a challenge, but it's a good challenge.
Yes, awesome. Okay, so the opposite of that, what are the rewards of leadership?
Wow, that's a great question. What are the rewards of leadership? Well, one rewarding thing of leadership is, again, I would have to say it goes back to not just on like what I have done, but it's whenever I'm seeing other people come up to me afterwards. I had a guy who's a year younger than me, just started serving in the youth some 6 months back, and he's saying, man, my life has changed so much since you've let me step into this role. You've given me some tasks, you've given me some jobs. And he's like, it has made me take my faith more seriously with God because you have entrusted with me these teens, these middle schoolers, And so that's an incredible thing that I find very rewarding whenever I am able to say, hey, I have this job for you. I'm asking you to lead this group of teens. And then he's saying, this is changing my marriage. This is changing like our finances together, because I've now taken more steps and I'm more invested here. It's made me more invested in the rest of the church. It's made me more invested in our marriage. And so as much as I can continue to encourage and give the responsibility to the people, I'm seeing that and I'm like, I want to do this for everyone, you know? So
that's incredible.
Yeah.
That's good.
Very, very encouraging and rewarding.
Yes. So what role does faith currently play in your daily life? Like how do you see your daily life play into your leadership as a youth pastor?
That's a great question. All right. So in my daily life, so we have 3 kids, and me and my wife have been married for 5 years now, which is pretty crazy. I'm just 26 years old. We're turning 27 not too long from now. So with that, there's a lot of responsibilities already in leading, leading my wife first, and then leading my kids as well, and then leading in the youth ministry. And so for me, again, another thing that is said very often around here as a staff is that we are to first seek the Lord for ourselves and see where is He leading us. And then as we have clarity about what is ahead in our life, that will overflow into all of our other ministries that we have and the other areas that we're being leaders, as we first have to have a leader. And so that for me is, that's my everyday. I'm saying, God, where do you want me to go? What do you have for me today? And it's something that can be a challenge if I'm trying to let my other leadership titles that I have come first, and then I have to remind myself, hey, I need to find my leader before just trying to be a leader. Mm-hmm. So that's the role that faith plays in my life.
So kind of like a follower.
Yes.
As a leader.
Yes, exactly.
Like
having to be a follower so that I can demonstrate to others, and like with full, transparency and authenticity down to my volunteers and to my kids and to my wife, is that I am following someone as well. Like that's my number one, is I'm following this person, and I want to be a follower to God in such a way that, those that are under me, those that I am leading, would follow me in that way as well. So.
Awesome. What qualities do you look for in your youth leaders?
What qualities do I look for? The number one quality that I am asking my leaders all of the time to do and to be is to be authentic and to be themselves. Especially working with teens. I'm always saying teens can smell fake from a mile away, And so like if you step up and you're trying to be someone that you're not, instantly teens are like, I'm really not interested in this. Even if someone might be a little more, socially awkward as a leader or something like that, just lean into it. Just be yourself first. And even if you attract 2 people, that's great. Because I want you to attract whoever it is that you are naturally, so that you can be a leader to them, instead of, oh, I've got to have your character traits so that I can go lead these people. I'm not asking that. I've always said I'm asking you to be a leader for who you are. I believe that God has gifted and called some people to be leaders of 100, leaders of 50, leaders of 10, like he talks about in the Old Testament, in the early books. I believe it's Moses. His father-in-law is telling him, hey, you've got to establish some leadership traits like this, because there's some people who are called to lead at different scales. And that's what I'm always asking my volunteers. Don't try to be me. Don't try to be Mr. Funny if you're not, Don't try to be, super reserved if you're not. Just be authentic. And as you're being authentic, you will draw people. And those are the people that you're supposed to minister to. That's my philosophy with that.
That's great. So how has a church leader or mentor influenced your spiritual growth? And
that's great.
You have like the best.
I was gonna say it's like I say it all the time. Like my dad wears like a million hats in my life, as my father, my boss, my friend, my mentor, my therapist, my all the things, and so my coworker as well, if you want to say it that way. So I would say he obviously has influenced my life in every way, as my own dad as well. But he serves even as a role, even in the things he doesn't say to me. I'm catching the way he's leading. I'm seeing how he's leading our elders. I'm seeing how he's leading the people in our congregation. And I'm, with my eyes, I'm seeing those things, and I'm taking notes, of saying, okay, he does not deal harshly with people. I'm saying he deals very methodically, and he's going to raise the standard for what is being called for, and expect whoever it is to raise to the standard. And so, like, that's something for me. It teaches me patience whenever there may be someone that I'm having a hard time dealing with. I'm saying, I'm just going to continue to raise the standard, elevate hey, this is the call of what this role is as a volunteer. And so I'm not going to like kick you out instantly, but I'm going to say, this is the call until they realize, hey, I don't meet that quota, and I'm going to step out. That's something he always says. That's a way better way to go about it. If you can say, this is what it takes. This is what the lifestyle is to be a volunteer in the youth ministry, instead of just, nitpicking people,
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that's one person that has influenced me in my spiritual life and as a leader.
So I think this is an important question.
All right.
How do you think the church can better engage the young people?
Wow. How do I think the church can better engage?
Or lead them?
Them, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a great question, because something that I see happen a lot in some churches is there is the mentality of, all right, if you are, say, older 20s, married, have kids, or you're, and up, you're really a part of the church. And if you're like mid 20s and down, if you're kind of the young adult down to teen, you're kind of the missing element. And then kids ministry, kind of what to do there. Hey, have fun with them and all this stuff. But this teenage range, the thing I tell our teens is, hey, you're just as much a part of the church as I am. So the expectation is for you to get involved in serving and to have conversations with the older people. That's another thing that I try to do with the youth ministry. I'm asking parents and I'm asking people in their 30s and 40s, hey, would you come and serve in the youth ministry so that we can create the relationships there? Same for like summer camp. That's great whenever there's a lot of college interns that go to summer camps. You got to have some energy somewhere,
Yeah.
But I like to ask the 30 and 40-year-olds so that they're coming in, and then later on Sundays, there's already a relationship there that's been developed. So what I think a way in which we can engage young people better in the church would be to have authentic, real relationships with them continually. Not just on Sunday. Sadly, what happens a lot of the times is older people think, oh, those are just teens, and teens think, oh, those are older people. And there's this, we don't really care about each other. They wouldn't get me. I don't really like them. And that there can be a divide there. But I think as people begin to have conversations, they're like, oh, wow, we're actually both humans, and we need to actually both pursue God just the same. We both can connect with each other just the same. So I would say the best way to do that is even greeters and all that stuff, getting teens involved there, so where they're talking to the adults as they're walking in the door, and there's some exchanges happening there, and there's a mutual respect of, you're just as much a part of the church as I'm just a part of the church.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
That's awesome. So what do you believe is the biggest challenge facing youth today?
Whew. Biggest challenge facing youth today. All right. Man, we could break this down into quite a few things, but I will say biggest challenge facing youth today. I would not say it's iPhones, all right? I would not say it's external things like that. As much as they are problems, distractions are a problem, but I would say one thing specifically to me is being unimpressed with the message of the gospel. All right, so I would say, especially in our region, specifically for the Ellis County area, last night I took a poll of the teens. Hey, how many of you have been in church 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years? And of those people that we had, I would say 80% of the kids said, I've been in church 10 plus years. And so my message to them was, it's very easy whenever you hear this every single week. Hey, Jesus died for your sins. Hey, did you know that you had a debt and it was forgiven? Hey, did you know, God loves you. He has grace for you and God is good. It can become very easy to just hear things and then become entitled or expect God to just always forgive like I deserve it, But what is the truth is we had a debt and that it was paid. And it can be unimpressive if we just get casual with that being the case. And so I would say the number one issue that I am currently trying to combat is understanding the gospel in a fresh way, in a unique way, in a personal way. Like whenever you are having the thoughts all over again of what you have done, and there's guilt and shame, hey, let's remember the words of Jesus to say you are forgiven, not just in a cliche sense, but in a real, personal, for that sin specifically, it has been forgiven. So that's what I would say for our teens. What I'm going at, that's my answer.
That's awesome.
Very good.
Well, we've come to the end of our time,
Very good.
and I just want to thank you very much for taking time today to let me interview you.
Absolutely.
And I will see you around at church, and
Wonderful.
now you'll know my face.
Exactly. I'm very excited.
All right.
Very, very excited.
Well, thank you very much.
Very good.